Well, she became a Hollywood darling in the 90s after starring in the hit movie Clueless. Then, in 2012, Stacey Dash surprised the media world by supporting Mitt Romney for president. In her new book entitled There Goes My Social Life, From Clueless to Conservative, she's opening up about her turn to the right. CBN's Jenna Browder sat down with Stacey and she brings us her story.
Hang with us.
It's a line Stacey Dash knows well, a fan favorite in Clueless.
Well, there goes your social life.
And now the inspiration behind the title of her new book. Why the title?
Well, because when I came out as a conservative, I basically lost a lot of friends, family, and got ostracized in Hollywood.
And it all started with one tweet. Vote for Romney, the only choice for your future.
One tweet. And the next day, my whole life changed.
Twitter went crazy, and the media quickly caught on, asking why would a black actress in liberal Hollywood endorse a conservative candidate?
You know, I've taken a lot of arrows, and a lot of people have told me keep my mouth shut or I won't work again. And I just say no. I won't be scared into submission.
Stacey says her political beliefs come from her life experiences.
I wrote the book because I believe that people think I'm Dion, that I was born in Beverly Hills with a silver spoon in my mouth.
But that was not the case. Stacey grew up in a rough New York City neighborhood and was no stranger to the hard knocks life.
I was born to two drug-addicted parents in the South Bronx, and my life was not easy. It was not easy.
You write about a lot in the book. What are some things that stick out?
My mother offered me cocaine. The abusive relationships, almost aborting my son. Thank God I didn't. I mean, I think about that all the time.
Stacey says God stopped her at the last minute.
I mean, you were in the doctor's office.
I was there on the abortion table. I was so far along, they had to put me under, so I had the IV in my arm. And I was crying. And at this point in my life, I'd forgotten about God. I'd stopped talking to him.
Stuck in a broken relationship and doing drugs, she was in no place to have a baby.
And so I cried out to God, and I said, you have to tell me what to do. I don't want to sign. You've got to tell me what to do.
And he did.
He said to me, Stacey, keep your son. He even told me it was a boy.
Stacey got up and ripped out the IV, but before she left, her doctor did a sonogram.
And I just saw my son's little pea-sized heartbeat inside of me. And I just thought, Stacey, how could you have considered taking this life that God has given you? It's part of you. He's you.
Today, her son Austin is 25, her daughter Lola 13, and Stacey drug-free since that day. But there were still more struggles.
You tell a striking story about one ex-boyfriend.
He'd been stalking us for 3 years, and so I finally got a gun. I had to move, literally. I can't even tell you how many times.
And she wasn't afraid to use her gun.
He found us, kicked the door in off the hinges, beat me up. My son was asleep upstairs, and I ran upstairs. I got my gun, I loaded it, and I came down the stairs shooting, and he was coming up the stairs. I missed, thank God, but he got the message, and he never came back.
As an outspoken supporter of the Second Amendment, some of Stacey's words often land her in hot water. She also recently took heat for comments about getting rid of Black History Month and the BET Awards.
I cannot wait to help my people out. Happy Black History Month.
In the book, Stacey talks about more abusive relationships and being mistreated by men, doing it Stacey's way.
Turn a page, and now you're doing it God's way.
Yeah. It was after a bad breakup, and I was in a bad place. And I had my 2 children, and, you know, I was not doing well. And I just finally literally fell to my knees, hysterical, and said, God, I can't do it. You got to help me. I surrender. And from that moment forward, things started happening.
That's when she got the courage to send the now famous tweet. And just as she reached the bottom of her bank account, offers started coming in.
You are a black American and you are a conservative.
Today, Stacey regularly appears on shows like Outnumbered and Hannity as a Fox News contributor. She gives all of the credit to God.
You know, I have to remind myself every day, surrender, surrender, stop.
So what's next?
I have to realize that God is the only one that can have control of my life, because I don't know where he's taking me. Only he knows. So I have to trust.
She knows he was faithful then.
Dee, don't you want to use your popularity for a good cause?
No.
And he'll be faithful now. Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Wow, she is impressive. I just want to say, Stacey, do not let them silence you.
We have no idea what people have been through in their life, right? So she's
Really?
primarily judged from one tweet a few years ago, and there's so much backstory to her life and all she's overcome. It's a good reminder.
But this is America. You know, you can say what you want, where you want, when you want. Thank you, Stacey.
She has a lot of courage.